Social media might be messing with your brain not only short term, but long term, and you might not even be aware of it. So, allow me to tell you what I think based on my experience since working fully online. Honestly, I've had a couple of conversations with myself about this the past few months, and that's why I think this video can be helpful, because social media is such a huge part of people's life nowadays, like it just is. The vast majority have a screen time that they're quietly ashamed to admit, and I absolutely include myself in that, by the way. I am a coach who works online, so a large amount of my screen time is productive. However, I'd be lying if I said I didn't fall into that trap of mindless scrolling just like anyone else. But that's why YouTube's actually good, because it forces you to work on your attention span and actually educate yourself in the process. So do try and stay to the end of this video to prove a point to yourself. Now ask yourself, how often do you end up scrolling for far longer than you initially intended? For a lot of you, the answer to that will be every day or even multiple times a day, particularly at night, perhaps before bed or after finishing a shift in the evening in work. Firstly, I can relate, because at this point now I think, considering the generation we're in, it's just become natural human behavior. But just actually think for a second how much of your energy and your attention is being zapped by all these TikToks, Instagram Reels and so on. Because I'm all for a little bit of scrolling. I think it's good to have that mindless part of your day where you're not thinking too much. And I do think that's actually healthy in small amounts, but it's important to actually be self-aware of how much you're doing it. And if it's constant, I think something does need to change, because your focus will take such a hit long term, not only short term, but in the future. And that's an insanely valuable skill that we need at any age, just to have our wits about us, be able to focus better in work, communicate with people more, progress in life just better. And I've not even mentioned the fact that there's so much misinformation online nowadays, with so many creators searching for views more than wanting to make a good impact on people. So that's actually the next point. Be careful who you follow, what kind of content you're consuming and engaging with, because that's the type of content that's going to come up more for you. For example, now on TikTok myself, I do spend a lot of time on there, but I've been more aware recently of what I'm consuming, and if it's something that I'm not interested or isn't good for my head, I'll just scroll on, and now I have a feed that is full of people who I actually like or trust, funny videos and things that aren't toxic for my mental well-being. And since becoming more self-aware now as well, I catch myself if I'm about to fall into that trap of, mindless scrolling, because it's a very easy thing to do. So now I just exit the app if I notice myself about to spend far more time than I want to spend scrolling. And I think that's a very good skill to have. And remember, there will always be people online who you think are doing so much better than you, but at the end of the day, you are comparing your potential chapter 2 or 3 to their chapter 10, for example, and it's not good for your head. So just remember, people are on their own journey and they started somewhere and you're on your own path. So that's something I have to remind myself of as well, rather than comparing to people who I think are in a better position than me. It's more about finding inspiration from those people who you actually look up to and apply that to your life, Social media, of course, has its positives and negatives, but if there's one thing you take from this video, it's to be more self-aware, because that's something I would tell myself a year or two ago as I was getting more into the online space. It's to be more self-aware. And actually, this is another thing. When you wake up in the morning, do not go on your phone straight away. Like, don't roll over on your bed and think, okay, I'm going to spend some time on my phone. It's the worst way you can start your day, and it took me 24 years to realize that. I'm being fully dead on, and I know you've probably heard that before, but it's important. 30 minutes minimum, do not go on your phone in the morning, and then do what you want after that. But it's an important thing. So yeah, I don't like to leave these videos drag on for too long. I like to keep them relatively short and to the point. So if you took something from it, I would really appreciate a like and subscribe as well, because my channel is pretty small right now and I'm trying to grow it and I want to make an impact, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. See you in the next one.